Today is the 17th of February 2015, and the subject, just very quick video, and it's something that I'm sure every paranormaler listening to EVPs from a recording of any sort, whether you're using an app, whether you're using a ghost box, whether you're using just a recorder, you know, it doesn't really matter what it is, whether you're using the wind or the trees or the grass or whatever, you know, you're recording something and you're playing it back on your computer, your laptop, whatever that might be. You know, I find sometimes really frustrating, and I'd love your feedback on this, but I find it really frustrating when you get EVPs and you think that that's really clear, and then you listen to it and you listen to it and you loop it and you expand it and you shrink it down. And you know, I can't remember the term it's called, but initially I will think it said something, and then I play it back a few times and then I think it said something else. And then I play it back and maybe slow it down and maybe amplify it, maybe try to do a bit of denoising and stuff like that. And then it's almost like you make it worse, you know? You start hearing even a different sentence or a different word. How many people also suffer from that problem? I find it a little bit frustrating. It doesn't happen, I guess. It doesn't happen a huge amount, but I do find it frustrating, especially if it's a response to something that I've asked, or it's part of a series of responses of something. I don't know, I just don't worry about it so much now. I used to really worry about it before, you know, I'd get really frustrated about playing it back and, you know, is it saying that? Shall I dismiss it? Sometimes I would just flag it as being a question mark, and then I might go back to it a couple of days later and listen to it again, you know, after maybe I've done a couple of other sessions. And it still doesn't make any sense, you know? If anyone has any tips about how they can kind of really draw out what's being said, you know, and I guess at the end of the day, does it really matter? Yeah, I think, and I think that's why I get frustrated, because I think it does matter, and I do really want to listen to what the spirits have to say, and I nearly always ask them to speak clearly, or to leave their messages as clear as possible. And it's really strange, actually, because sometimes I will listen to a recording, I will hear an EVP that's, you know, that something that's been said in the background, for instance, will very often be clearer, even though it's so quiet, compared to an EVP that was actually quite loud, which I also find quite strange. Again, you know, has anyone else experienced that? I mean, you know, with a lot of the apps and the boxes and such like, they're creating quite a lot of noise, you know, for whatever technical reason, you know, that they produce all this noise. But yeah, I would welcome anybody else's feedback really on clear EVPs and how you deal with EVPs where you think they've said something and you listen to it again and then you think, no, I think it said XYZ, and sometimes it doesn't make any sense to the context of your question either, you know, like, I don't know, it's strange. And sometimes these messages come through and they're not actually talking to us or me, you know, they're actually talking amongst themselves maybe. I've had that on 2 sessions that I've had today, you know, where it sounds like you're listening to a conversation between 2 spirits. One's telling the other one what they can or can't do, or what they should be doing. And again, you know, I couldn't really quite figure out what they were saying. And it's very often just, you know, out of a whole sentence, it'll be one word, and it'll be the crucial word that I can't understand. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again in another video.